Quentin, just what's it been like, being back on the practice field these past couple weeks, and how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great, and it's been awesome. You're gone from football for almost a month and a half, and you're like, man, I can't wait to get back. But the biggest thing is, can you get back and feel good? And that's exactly what I'm doing. The training staff has done an amazing job of getting me ready, getting me prepared, and I'm running around. I got fresh legs, so I'm gonna be good to go when Saturday comes. But it's honestly been a blessing. You miss football. Some good things did happen my way, especially in this new year. But just being back out there on the field with my teammates and with the coaches have been awesome.
Devontae was talking about how you and he were talking, and it's hard to, get past the mental aspect of missing time. So what's your process for, kind of handling that?
Yeah, it's tough. Luckily, I have great teammates, great support system around me that allows you to, not get too down on yourself, especially when something like what happened with me is I couldn't control that situation. That's why it was a little bit upsetting for me. But my biggest thing was when they told me you have a chance to get back, that's all I was thinking about was, okay, if I can get right in 6 weeks and these guys can earn a playoff spot, I'll be ready to go. And, look where we're at now. I'm able to practice and, play meaningful football, especially in the postseason.
And Carolina game, obviously you weren't there for that last one. So what have you seen from their defense? And is there anything in that last game's tape where you're like, I wish I could have been there to impact the game in this way?
From their offense or from their defense?
From their offense.
From their offense?
Yeah.
I think they do a really good job. David Canales is, it's so funny when you look around the league at the teams that are successful, they have great offensive-minded head coaches that are young, talented, and kind of push the game to the limits. Bryce Young, talented quarterback, modern-day alumni. Hey, shout out Bryce. I didn't even play with him, though. I missed him by 2 years, but I met him one time. Great kid. They got great skill. Obviously, the run game has done really well. Two great running backs in Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. So they have all the tools that they need, and I think their O-line is really good too. So you look at that from a holistic perspective. In total, they got a good team, and there's a reason why they earned themselves a spot. But at the same time, we got a damn good team too, and I was told, and Coach McVay told us today, our best is good enough. And if we're able to be the best version of ourselves, we'll be able to do good things in the postseason. But, the good team, can't underestimate them going into another hostile environment who they haven't been to the playoffs in years. So I know that stadium is going to be it's going to be packed. It's going to be awesome. But, we have to do what we need to do to win the game, and I know that's exactly what we're going to do.
Physically, go ahead.
During that month and a half that you were off the field, what did you observe from your defensive teammates, and what did you take away from what they were able to do?
Yeah, the biggest thing is, guys were getting meaningful experience. Young guys that haven't really played in, certain spots or haven't really gotten experience, they get an experience. And, that's what you need, especially as a young player, is to go in there and play at, whether it's a primetime game or a great matchup. Those guys were able to do it. And my job was, especially being sideline, was how can I help them? What input can I give to them that's going to help them and allow them to be successful? And I think in some of the games we saw that, guys were making plays, flying around, having fun. But, at the same time it's my turn. How can I come back and help these guys? And they're going to help me too. I think the biggest thing is when I looked at them, they looked at me saying, and it was always support, love, and care. And that's all you can ask, especially when you go through something like that, an injury is, do you have guys around you that are supporting you? And I think they did a great job. Like I said, they gave me a chance to come back. And that's all you want.
No, absolutely. You guys were just having fun out there. Or they were just having fun. Mm-hmm. Is there a specific skill that you think that you had to develop over that time being sidelined that you think will help you being back on the field?
I think the biggest skill I had to learn was how can I see the game in a different perspective? When you're out on the field, you can pick up on a lot of things faster. You're just your body position, you're used to the speed of the game but how can you stay so locked in that when you come back, the speed of the game is the same? Because you're not out there physically, and I think that was the biggest thing is how I was still watching film, still trying to make sure I was making the right calls, still trying to give input when I can. And that's the biggest thing is, so when I get out there mentally, I'm like, okay, nothing's new, nothing's too fast for me. Everything is, the same speed from when I got hurt. And it felt good today. I mean, really the past 2 weeks, I feel like I was like, man, this is seamless. And obviously I got guys around me that help me a lot. So it's been good. Great week of preparation. And, when you have a great week of preparation and you trust that going into the game, you hope to make a lot of plays.
Jared talked about how you said to him that you were going to keep him accountable for what he said after last year.
Yeah.
And just, not wanting the teammates to feel that way.
Yeah.
So what did you want to impart on him with that message?
The biggest thing is when somebody says that, including myself, I want them to mean it. And I know he meant it. But at the same time I don't forget things like that, especially when it's said out loud and said to the media, But at the same time, that's a strong statement to make, And I just want to make sure that his mindset and mentality is, hey, I'm staying true to that. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that my teammates don't feel the way we did after the Philly game. And more so than that, I saw how hurt he was, There was a lot of stuff going on pregame in that game, too, with him and, Jalen Carter, which was fun, too. But at the same time you only get a couple shots. There are a couple players there's a couple players in the league that have played long careers, Hall of Fame careers, and never made it to the postseason. So when you get to these games and you want to sell out for one game at a time, but how locked in can you be? Let it all loose. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your body. Don't worry about the mental aspect. Go cut it loose, man, because when you're hoisting that Lombardi trophy, you're not going to worry about anything else but a smile on your face.
Thanks, Q. Appreciate you, man. All right, Kyren, big playoff matchup. What are some things that you've learned from your previous postseason experiences?
Not to make it seem too lightly, but it's just another game. Obviously we're in the playoffs, but once you go through the playoffs a couple of times, you're able to learn about how to feel, what to feel, man. You just go in there and keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the same things that we've been doing this whole season. All the goods and all the bads. Bring them together, stay connected, and just continue to keep fighting and playing as one. So to me, it's just another game, and I'm super excited for the opportunity that we do get to go out there and play.
And I know that you guys had a lot of success in the run game last time against Carolina, even though it wasn't the result that you guys wanted. So what worked in that game for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's just bringing that, creating that and bringing that dominant edge. We know who we are as a run game. We know what we like to do. We know the things that, we're good at. And so we just got to continue to keep bringing those things to life, man. And, whether one play doesn't go the way that we want it, we still got to continue to breathe new life into new plays and to continue just to, bring those plays to life. And
what stands out about this Carolina front, apart from, there being some former teammates on that line?
Yeah, I think they create a lot of havoc. I think they do, whether they slant or when they're straight jetting or when they're running games. I think they present a challenge for us up front. But, I got so much trust in the guys that are in front of me, man. The front five, they're going to get the job done, and we're going to create holes to go run through, and we're going to have fun.
And obviously, you and Blake have split carries this season more so than you had in previous years. Do you feel the impact that's made just on your body and how it feels going into the postseason?
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. I remember last year I was not feeling the way that I feel right now. I'll tell you that at the beginning of the playoffs. But, it's been a blessing. It's been, great to see that Blake has been able to show the type of back that he is, the things that he can do, man. But, I expect us to continue to keep working off each other and feeding off each other come the playoffs.
And this offense has just been super productive. And Sean talked about wanting the starters to play last week to get back to winning football and to get in a rhythm. Do you feel like you guys are in that rhythm now heading into the playoffs?
1,000%. We got Tay back. We got a couple for some of our guys coming back off of IR and, with Quentin Lake and just the team in general. I'm super excited. As an offense, we talk about being efficient and explosive. And that's what we got to do, man. Coach McVay always talks about our best is good enough. So just going out there and being who we are and playing to our capability and, bringing that energy and that edge is going to really what we need.
Appreciate you, Kyren.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.